What an emotional roller coaster of a game. Arsenal managed to find a way to get the 3 points thanks to Bukayo Saka. I have to say that. Man, Bukayo Saka is brilliant player. Like he took it upon himself. Wolves had planned for this game, I think even before they played United, because wow, there was a point I took a picture. There was a back six in the middle of play, not on a set piece. There was 6 people at the back. They were really determined to get a point or something out of this game. And on a footballing level, I feel bad for them, but at the same time, in whatever league you are at, whether in Spain or in England or in Germany, this is first against last, and first is at home. It was a really hard game for Arsenal, mentally and not necessarily physically, just mentally, to keep the patience and believe that you can. And man, Bukayo Saka, that is our star boy. They should give him his contract, big contract, and put him on the level of superstardom, because that's our superstar right there. He bailed us out today, pretty much twice. He gave crosses in the first half. He put in like 4 crosses, just flashing it in front of Gyökeres, in front of Martinelli, in front of, like, man, Saka. I saw Madueke play midweek, and I was like, oh, maybe Madueke can unlock some games for us. But I think Madueke is a couple of steps. I thought it was like 2 steps behind Saka, but I think it's like 5 or so steps behind Saka. Just the ability to lift the team wearing the armband and taking Arsenal ahead and just doing all those things. Man, I have to give it to Bukayo Saka. But at the same time, what a game for Arsenal. We had almost no chances the first half when you look at it in terms of no shots on target. But technically speaking, we had chances. Saka created chances. Zubimendi created chances. We just didn't convert them. I don't want to make this video about putting down Gyökeres, but I think he needs to do more. I think he needs to be more alert. I've seen him flat-footed a couple of times, and he needs to do more. I want him to be up and firing, and I think everybody at Arsenal wants that, and that's why Arteta gives him 80 minutes, starts him whenever he's fit, because we really want him to be up and firing. But as of today, if we had lost that game, we've not lost, but he needs to do more. He needs to do more. Otherwise, Jesus is coming back. People start asking why you're not starting Merino instead, because I was definitely asking that. The commentators were asking that, because Merino looks like a better finisher for Arsenal. He looks like he has more awareness of Arsenal play, drop in, anticipate a cross, breaking, like he looks like he is really into the team more than Gyökeres, and I really want Gyökeres to do well, but at what cost? I think he needs to step up real quick. Otherwise, we're not going to drop points because our striker cannot convert chances. That's unacceptable. Overall speaking, what a game of resilience. We knew very well what was going to happen if we dropped points today. We knew 100%. At this point, I'm not so sure whether City will win at Palace, but if we had dropped points, City were going to win. That's City were going to go back to first position since August. That's crazy. No. Keep the 5 points. Keep the pressure on them. We've had a terrible November, slipping into December. We still have a few good games. I think Everton, and we have the return leg for Villa this month. So it would be very funny story if Villa beat us twice, but I'm not going to go into that kind of negativity right now. The story of the night is Arsenal were able to pull it off. And we got a few of our players back. I got to give it to Hincapié. Man, he who thought that last-minute centre-back signing for Arsenal would be key at this point of the season? Look at that. Midweek, he was the only centre-back that started the game. Probably even the only one that finished the game, I think. And weekend, you could see how he stepped up. He would change position. He would do everything. Even though the guy did him on the goal, I think he had done way, way, way more for a guy that is a substitute centre back. He is doing really well for his position and for Arsenal's position right now, where we have a lot of people out. But at the same time, I really have to give it to someone like Rice. Rice stepped up, big deal in just trying to push guys forward. But at some point towards the end of when Wolves went and scored the goal, I swear I could have seen the goal coming because Arsenal had sucked back 1-0 with 10 minutes to go. Why? Why are we doing that? This is Arsenal. We should have the ball and we should be keep pressing. They should only bank on a counter. No, those guys built the ball, the play. They passed the ball left, right, and we just sat back. 11 men behind the ball. This is Arsenal at home. I think Arteta needed. Oh, I'm glad he got the 3 points, but we cannot let that happen. Wolves did not think they were going to win the game, and it was so wrong for us to let them in. Either way, this is their second game in a row scoring. I think that's good for them, but I'm just glad because we got the 3 points. I can't complain much. No injuries. 3 points with no injuries. I don't care who scored for as long as we get the 3 points, and that's what we did today. And yeah, top of the table, whether City win or lose. And after the earlier wins from Chelsea and Liverpool, it would be a very long weekend for Arsenal if they drop points today. I'm glad they didn't. Yeah, whether it would be a really long weekend, I just couldn't phantom that. But either way, we got the 3 points. We move on to the next game. But apart from Arsenal winning, Liverpool also cruised to a comfortable 2-0 win. Yeah, a bigger story was Mohamed Salah in the squad. I'm glad he got back to the squad. Not good for me as an Arsenal fan if Liverpool start chasing us down, but I don't like such sad stories in football. I think Mohamed Salah, even though it's just part of football and this is the drama, and that's what we're here for. But I think it would be so wrong there's those players that when you kick out of a club, he really deserved, but most Salah did not. He made a mistake coming out, talking in the mix zone, but other than that, he just apologized and life moves on. He had a really good game today. He defended. Mohamed Salah was dropping deep. There was one chance towards the end where Chiesa squared the ball to him. He's the one who bent the tackle, passed the ball to Chiesa, and ran the whole length of the field to support Chiesa. And for sure, Chiesa squared the ball to him. If he had scored that would have been a nice fairy tale. Either way, with the assist to Ekitike, that means Salah breaks the record in the EPL for most goals and assists for a single club. That was held by Wayne Rooney for Manchester United at 276, but Salah just got one over him, which is a good story. Now he goes to the AFCON. I hope he does well. I'm not really following the AFCON like that now, so I will follow when it starts. I'm not sure of a team. I think Morocco are going to be strong considering they are going to and they've been the strongest team there so far. But that aside, that's a good story from them. The other, Ekitike scores the 2 goals. I feel bad for Ekitike. Ekitike is a superstar. He should be there should be a lot of attention on him, He's doing the work, he's delivering the goods, but the attention is either on Salah, Vats, or Isak. And I think for him, for as long as he gets minutes, he just needs to keep converting for himself as a striker. But good for him, good for Liverpool. They kept a clean sheet, 2 clean sheets in a row. That's a good thing for them. But that win takes them up to top 6, which just shows you how funny and close and tight the Premier League table is, because one time you're in double digits, one win you find yourself in 5th or 6th position, which is where Liverpool find themselves. And it would be a good story for them. I think they're going to miss Mo Salah when he goes to the AFCON, but they kind of needed that break from all this toxicity, and I'm glad it's gone out in a good way. The other team, Chelsea, yeah, they were in a bad run. I kind of expected them to get back with that one. Yeah, because they were playing home, of course, and yeah, they were in a bad place. So I'm glad that they got their starter man back. They got Cole Palmer. I'm not really glad, but they got Cole Palmer back. He was able to score that brilliant goal. I mean, they missed that. They don't have someone like that. This instinctive finish, just smash it through the goalkeeper into the back out of nowhere, packed box, just powered through the shot. That was good assist from Gusto, but what an awareness from Cole Palmer to just put it on the back of the net. And the goal from Gusto also. What burst of pace from Pedro Neto. Wow. I mean, I'm jealous of Chelsea for getting Pedro Neto. He was linked with Arsenal, and I remember we said no because he was really injury prone. Injury prone. But look at him now, man. He'd be playing every day. Man, what a man. Burst of he knows one-on-one, he's gonna beat his man. Always. Square the ball back in. I mean, Pedro Neto is a good player. I think their best player of the season so far, considering other guys have been out. He's been playing really well, and yeah, that was good business from them for sure. Garnacho missed a really good chance, but they won the game, and he's in a good place. They wouldn't really care much, but for Garnacho's sake, it would be nice if he buried that for him to have his numbers scoring at home, in a new club. People are different, I guess. But that win for Chelsea takes them up to what position? Let me check. The table keeps flipping. One win, then your 10th position, and the next time you find yourself in 5th position or 6th position, or you lose one game and you just. So let me just check where Chelsea are. Chelsea are still in the 4th position. So they'll be hoping for Palace to lose to City tomorrow so that they maintain their position. But even if City would draw with Palace, it would mean that Chelsea would keep top 4. I think Chelsea are still in and around there. It just looks like there's a lot of pressure, but they've been doing well. Their goalkeeper, I think, is on course for golden gloves. I think he has the most clean sheets so far. I know weird start for Chelsea, but yeah, their goalkeeper has the most clean sheets. And yeah, let's see how this goes. The other game today was Burnley hosted Fulham. Burnley, Wolves. I think those guys are already going down. We're just trying to look for a third candidate now, but I think Wolves and Burnley have already sealed their fate. It just goes maybe we have West Ham, Nottingham, and Leeds. Those are the next candidates. One of those guys is going to join Burnley or Wolves. I mean, I actually thought Burnley would at least draw this game. Yeah, I think they've lost bad form. They've lost, I think, almost 7. They lost 7 games in a row. That's the first time in their history of the Premier League, considering how badly they've performed previously. Like there was a time when they had, what was his name? I remember. There was a time when it was Sean Dyke. I think when they went down, was it not Sean Dyke? It was somebody else. Not the same Scott Parker, but they went down and they had really bad points. I think they had 12 points or something, but they never lost 7 in a row. Now they lost 7 in a row, even though they still have 10 points, and technically they could still contest to qualify because West Ham is just 3 points ahead of them and things like that. They're not in a good place, and that loss, even though I hope they would draw or something, it didn't come as much of a surprise. Harry Wilson, again, this guy is so technically gifted. Oh, I remember seeing an English player that technically gifted. He does things with his feet that those are Spanish or Brazilian players that do that, like the goal that he scored last week. My God. And today, the assist. Did you see how he brought down that ball and then flipped it out? Man, that guy is technically gifted. I gotta give it to him. Yeah, but I think he was in Spurs or something, but maybe he's not like someone to go up to a bigger club, but he really is a good Premier League player for sure. And he's among the most technically gifted I think I've seen in the league this season. Other than that, that's the reaction for today's games. I'll catch you guys tomorrow when City travel to the capital to face Palace. And I don't know what other. Let me check. what other game we have tomorrow? We also have Nottingham and Spurs. Nottingham hosting Spurs. Sunderland, the derby, hosting Newcastle. West Ham get to host Villa. There's a bunch of nice games tomorrow. Brentford hosting Leeds. That looks like another high octane game. And yeah, Brentford hosting Leeds is the last game of tomorrow. I think tomorrow we start with very high tempo from City Palace. Nottingham Tottenham looks like another high tempo game. Ange Derby. Let's go to Newcastle. Sunderland Newcastle is, I think, game of the day tomorrow from what people say. And then we have West Ham Villa, which I think West Ham is going to try, but Villa might be too strong. We'll see. And then Brentford and Leeds. Catch you guys tomorrow on the reaction. But good job, Saka and Salah and Cole Palmer and Arsenal, Liverpool, and Chelsea for getting their respective wins. The games keep coming in thick and fast, and the holidays. I'm just here for the Premier League, guys. Catch you guys tomorrow.